Well, hello guys, and welcome back to another Star vs. the Forces of Evil review. In this episode, we're taking a look at Season 1, Episode 3 and 4, Matchmaker in School Spirit. I'm just gonna say it, both these episodes suck. No, they're both garbage. I do think that School Spirit is worse than Matchmaker, and I mean, Matchmaker's only real purpose is to introduce us to some of the supporting cast. School Spirit is just annoying, but we'll get to it. To start off, though, I don't actually want to... We're not going to start with the show, but I meant to talk about this last time and just completely spaced it. Let's talk about the opening theme. Themes are a big part of shows, right? Oh, a good opening theme makes a good first impression, yada, yada, yada. Star has an okay opening theme. It's not the greatest thing, it's not the worst thing, it's just kind of okay. It has a lot of energy to it, which I will give it credit to. Again, it matches Star's personality, but other than that, it's nothing special. Yeah. And so Matchmaker, it starts off, we see, right, Star's very popular in school, but Marco's like, no, the cool guys are Alfonso and Ferguson. I think we all kind of agree at this point that Alfonso and Ferguson suck. They are super annoying, and I get it. Oh, Marco's a nerd, so he has nerdy friends. But these characters suck. We're not going to have to deal with them for that long, though. We'll be done with them soon enough. Because eventually, cleverly, the show actually figures it out as well, that they're also super fucking annoying. So, just give it some time. And then we see Marco's love interest, Jackie Lynn Thomas. Who, I mean, okay, right now she's just Marco's love interest. There's nothing to her at the moment. She'll get better. And they're in class, and they have the teacher, Skolnick, who, I don't know, she's every mean teacher ever. A mean math teacher. Yeah, okay, nothing new there. And of course, Star doesn't understand Earth, so she's failing, right? She doesn't get math, or it's just she doesn't give a shit. Now, I was told that all the fish out of water stuff was retconned in one of the books, that it's not true. Star is actually clever, she gets stuff, but she's just playing stupid, which I don't know how to feel about that. Because on one hand, I guess it gives her more credit as a character, or it makes her, right, not look like the idiot she does appear to be in both of these episodes. But at the same time, I think playing the fool is worse than actually being the fool. Right, like, usually when you play stupid, you have some sort of ulterior motive. But as we see in this episode, and especially the next one, School Spirit, she has no ulterior motive to be stupid. And I get her understanding technology, but culture is different. Culture is harder to adjust to. And especially School Spirit's all about culture. I don't know, it's something, okay, even if it is true or not, I'm just going to kind of ignore it and do what the show tells me, because unless the show says otherwise, I'm just going to focus on what the show says. That's what matters to me, personally. Especially because I think it's just a stupid-ass retcon. But she wants to help Skolnick out because she doesn't want to get an F in school. And she accidentally turns Skolnick into a troll. And yeah, nothing's going well. They kidnap Skolnick because, of course, they have to figure out how to untrollify her. We see they're being watched by Buff Frog, remember? And we find out Ludo's grand plan is to steal the magic wand, turn into some super powerful evil villain, and then, right, take over the world. Because what else would a generic-ass villain like him have a plan to be? I wouldn't expect any less. Ugh. Star and Marco decide that, they need to ask Star's mom. Again, on our continuation of being introduced into side characters, we meet Tom for a quick second. He'll come back. And we see Star's mom, and yeah, no, she just reveals she's an idiot and doesn't fully get magic, that she screwed up. And Star is worried she's going to be sent to St. Olga's Academy for Wayward Princesses. Again, we're building it up. We are properly setting this up. And then Ludo attacks, because why not? And now, the one thing I will give the episode, sure, is the fight scene. The fight scenes in the show are usually really good, and yeah, no, this one works fine. And during it, Skolnick falls in love with a Minotaur guy? Yeah, something like that. And eventually Star kicks everyone's ass. And Skolnick runs away with the Minotaur guy. And Star doesn't get her A because the entire reason she tried to change Skolnick was to get an A. But now that she's fallen in love, it's like, oh, I'm going to get the A. Nope. And then Skolnick gets dropped back in class and is now more pissed at them than ever. And also Star pins the whole... This makes Star just more popular, but then Star pins the entire thing on Marco, trying to get him with Jackie, and that doesn't work because the second Skolnick comes back, everyone hates him. I will admit, the reason why she came back, because she couldn't understand a word he said, actually makes sense. Like, that makes sense in the episode. And then we end on a joke, because always end on a joke. I don't always disagree with that. This is a whatever episode. I kind of try to quickly go through it. Nothing really happens. It's annoying. It's just to introduce us to our side characters, which, I mean, it does that fine, but the actual content of the episode is just whatever. The next episode, though, is Pep Rally. This is actually really annoying, if only for one main reason: fish out of water. Fish out of water can work in small doses. The first episode, I think, does it fine. My prime example for the past year or two has been Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is a great example of using just the bare minimum of fish out of water. This is entirely fish out of water, and it's super fucking annoying. So we start off with a pep rally, which, look at the faces here. They all just kind of, they just look off. They don't blend with the show style. We'll probably see this again, but I can't even think of a single other time they do this in the entire show. And we get our generic bitchy mean cheerleader. Like I said, this is Western and anime mixing, and doing a football pep rally. If you ever set a show in high school, you are legally obligated to do a football pep rally episode. I feel like every show ever set in like a high school has done this at some point, because that's just a big part of the American experience. And of course, fish out of water. Star doesn't understand football. I mean, they could bring up an interesting point here, because she goes by like the football trophy case, and she sees it as like a war memorial, remembering the fallen soldiers who died playing football. They could bring up some meta commentary about how we praise athletes in the same way we praise dead soldiers, right? But no, it just turns into more fish out of water stuff, because Star goes to the cheerleading committee and is trying to figure out their war tactics to defeat, because their enemy's called the Warriors or something stupid like that. We get some of Star's backstory and how she was raised, the guards were her nannies. They kind of retcon this later on this season, and honestly, I think that works a lot better and is a lot more interesting. Even if I don't think the episode is that great. We'll get to it. Again, I'm just remembering from my dome piece. So, meanwhile, on Marco's side of the plot, Ferguson, I think it's Ferguson, the fat one, is become the school mascot, and Marco's worried that he's going to be kidnapped, like college mascots are. And in the process of trying to stop Ferguson from being kidnapped, he basically ends up kidnapping Ferguson himself. It is literally just something for Marco to do. It gives nothing to the plot. It's just Marco stalling for time. Because even when Ferguson does eventually get kidnapped, it's resolved like a minute later. Not even that. So disappointing. And then we see Star at the battlefield, and she's booby-trapped the entire battlefield. I will admit, I like Star's warrior outfit. I like how they turn the wand into a mace, and I like the skulls on her cheeks. That's nice. And we get this whole booby-trapped game of football, and everything's going according to plan. Everything's going horribly wrong. People are getting killed, presumably. I mean, everything goes wrong. Marco's out there fighting. And yeah, the only thing, they do the trope, right, of the football game. The only thing they don't do is put Marco on the football team. In most other instances of this trope, Marco would have been on the football team. But just this once, he isn't. That's the one thing that kind of is different. That doesn't mean it's good. That doesn't mean it saves it. It's just the one thing that's different. But Ferguson almost dies. He doesn't. And because of all the crazy shit that happened at the game, the other team runs away and they win by forfeit. And that's where it ends. That they won the football game because, who cares? Yeah, no, this one doesn't work. It's too fish out of water. It's too focused. Marco's subplot is completely useless. The action's okay at the end. It's nothing to write home about. It's just fine. And this episode is just annoying. And it has that case of like, oh, a character will say one thing, but then the other character will misinterpret it as going the other way. Like the trophy case, right? I don't like it. I don't. And then there's the ending theme, which, okay, so the opening theme's okay, but I have grown to love this ending theme. It's so upbeat, it's so chipper. I love it so much. It's so endearing. It's short, it's simple, but it's really fun. I love it so much. I hope y'all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace.